Somewhere, a man sits on the edge of his bed with his shoes still on because taking them off feels like admitting the day defeated him. He is not dramatic. He is not weak. He is just full. Full of words he never said. Full of anger he disciplined. Full of love that returned with dirty hands. Maybe he is you. Maybe you learned early that pain should be quiet, that a man should swallow the storm and call it patience. So you swallowed, again, until your chest became a graveyard for conversations that deserved to happen. And now look at you, still trying to be fair to people who were careless with your spirit. Still giving gentle explanations to those who studied your wounds and pressed them anyway. No, enough of that little theater. Hear this. Your sadness is not a show for them. It is not proof that they won. It is not a signal that you are begging to be rescued. Sometimes, sadness is the soul washing poison out in silence. Sometimes the trembling hands are not failure, they are the body refusing to carry lies anymore. God knows the difference between a person who gave up and a person who is tired. God knows when your silence is worship, when your patience is discipline, when your restraint is heavier than revenge. So do not be ashamed of the weight. Be ashamed only of surrendering your worth to those who never knew how to hold it. Tonight, sit with the pain, but do not marry it. Let it speak, but do not let it command. Let the heart shake, but keep the soul standing. Tomorrow will not ask how beautifully you suffered. It will ask whether you still chose to rise with clean hands. And when morning comes, do not expect the world to clap because you survived the night. Most people are busy polishing masks, not noticing the man holding his pieces together. Stop waiting for witnesses. Some victories are private. Only God knows the blood they cost. You wanted an apology, maybe. A message. A moment where they understood what they did. Human, but dangerous. Because sometimes the person who broke you will sleep while you sit awake explaining cruelty to ceiling. Do not make their awareness the gate to your healing. Let them misunderstand the silence. Let them think you became cold. Let them call your distance pride, bitterness, whatever helps them avoid the mirror. You know the truth. You stayed until staying became self-betrayal. You forgave until forgiveness looked like permission. You loved until love had no place left to sit. Now listen. The next version of you cannot be built from their approval. It must be built from prayer, discipline, sleep, clean food, quiet work, and courage to stop returning to the knife because it once touched you softly. Pain is not a home, it is weather. Heavy, yes. Real, yes. But it moves. So breathe like someone coming back. Wash your face. Fix the bed. Answer one honest task. Take one step without announcing it. No dramatic speech. No grand revenge. Just the terrifying little miracle of continuing. And when ache asks for your name, do not give it your whole identity. Tell it, You may sit beside me tonight, but you do not get to drive. You are here. That is not small. That is war, hidden inside breathing. If no one comes to save you, do not make that proof you are not worth saving. Sometimes God leaves the room quiet so you can hear the strength He placed inside you. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind. The kind that gets up with a broken chest and refuses to become cruel. You keep thinking healing will feel beautiful. No. Sometimes healing feels like deleting the message you wanted to send. Sometimes it feels like eating when your stomach is closed. Sometimes it feels like praying with tired words, just, God, help me. That is enough. Look at the joke of it. They wanted kindness, but not responsibility for your pain. They wanted warmth, but not your truth. They wanted old you, the one who could be wounded and still make others comfortable. That version is tired. Let him rest. Do not punish yourself for having a heart. A hard world mocks softness because softness exposes how dead they became inside. Softness without boundaries becomes a cage. Draw the line, quietly. No hatred, no begging, no speech for people committed to misunderstanding you. Tonight, be honest. You are tired. You miss things you should not miss. You remember voices that do not deserve space in your head. You may even want to return to what broke you because pain can become familiar and pretend to be safe. Do not confuse familiar with home. Home is where your soul can breathe. Home is where your silence is not used against you. Home is where you do not bleed to prove loyalty. Strange, isn't it? You waited for life to become gentle before you became strong. Strength is born where gentleness did not arrive. Stand, not because pain is gone, but because purpose is calling. Walk slowly if you must. Speak less if you must. Keep your hands clean, keep your prayer alive, and keep your heart from becoming a weapon. Let grief pass through you, not rule you. Let memory visit, not move in. Let pain teach, not command. Tomorrow, enter quietly, with tired eyes, but with a soul that belongs to God. And when tomorrow opens its door, don't walk in begging the day to be kind. Walk in knowing you have been through nights that would have made others disappear. You are still here, not polished, but breathing. And breathing is not small when the chest has carried stones. The mistake is thinking pain must leave before you move. No. Sometimes you move with it sitting beside you, heavy and silent, like a passenger that forgot where to get off. Let it sit, but don't hand it the map. There are people you must stop explaining yourself to. Not because you hate them, because every explanation becomes another little funeral for your peace. They heard you the first time. They simply preferred the version of the story where they stayed innocent. So stop cutting your soul into pieces to feed people who only visit when they are hungry. Stop opening the same door because loneliness knocks with a familiar voice. Stop confusing your ability to endure with a command to stay. You can miss someone and still leave them in God's hands. You can love a memory and still refuse to live inside it. You can forgive without walking back into the room where your dignity was made to stand in the corner. Tonight is not asking you to become stone. It is asking you to become honest. Honest about the pain. Honest about the pattern. Honest about the part of you that kept calling a wound a home because it feared silence. Silence is not empty. Silence is where a broken person begins hearing the truth again. And the truth is simple. You were not created to be a lesson for careless hands. You were not created to be drained, used, then blamed for being tired. Lift your head slowly, not proudly, cleanly. Let the world see less of your pain and more of your discipline. Let them wonder why you no longer react. Let them learn that a quiet soul can close a door without slamming it. Keep going, even if your steps sound weak, even if your heart keeps looking back. Keep going until peace stops feeling strange. Keep going until your name sounds safe in your own mouth again. There is another kind of pain, the quiet one that does not ask for attention. It sits under your ribs like a locked door. People pass by it every day. They shake your hand. They laugh near you. They ask for favors. Nobody hears the little room inside you where everything is falling. And maybe that is why you became so good at looking normal. You learned the art of smiling with tired eyes. You learned to answer quickly before the truth could climb into your throat. You learned to say, "Nothing happened," when everything in you was still happening. Beautiful lie of being strong. They praise you for carrying the weight because they do not want to help you put it down. They admire your silence because it keeps them comfortable. They call you mature when you stop asking for care. But hear me. You are not a machine built to absorb disappointment. You are not a wall where careless people can throw stones and call it life. You are a soul, a breathing soul. And even a strong soul gets tired when it stays brave where nobody is gentle. Tonight, do not chase the people who made you feel hard to love. Do not open your phone like a beggar at the gate of someone else's attention. Do not measure your worth by the silence of people who knew how to reach you and chose not to. Let that silence teach you. Let it show you who only loved your availability. Let it show you who loved your light but not your wounds. Let it show you who clapped when you were useful and disappeared when you needed one hand. This is where you stop negotiating with your own dignity. Not with anger, not with revenge. With a calm face and a heavy heart. You take your soul back, piece by piece. Stop explaining pain to ears pretending to be doors. Strange, isn't it? The moment you stop chasing, they call you changed. The moment you stop bleeding for them, they call you cold. The moment you protect your peace, they act wounded by your boundaries. Let them. Let them misunderstand the version of you that finally learned to survive cleanly. You do not owe anyone the old you. You do not owe anyone the voice they ignored. You do not owe anyone access to the heart they handled like it was cheap. God sees the tears that never fell. God sees the words you buried because you wanted to stay patient. God sees the nights you held yourself together with breath and prayer. Do not think hidden pain is wasted. Sometimes hidden pain becomes strength. So be still. Put your hand on your chest. Feel that? That tired rhythm is still fighting for you. It has not abandoned you. Treat it with mercy. Speak to yourself like someone you must protect. You do not have to become loud to become free. You do not have to insult, expose, or prove. Sometimes freedom is a quiet deletion. Sometimes it is not replying. Sometimes choosing sleep over panic. And when memory comes back, do not let it stay. Let it pass. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it was real. But love that destroys your peace is not a home. It is a lesson. Lessons do not arrive wearing soft clothes. They come with sharp edges. They sit across from you in the dark and force you to admit what you kept decorating with excuses. That person was not confused every time they hurt you. That place was not home just because you knew where the pain lived. That memory was not sacred just because it still knows how to find your chest. Stop calling the wound by beautiful names. Stop calling neglect complicated. Stop calling disrespect a bad day. Stop calling absence a busy life. Some things are simple, and that is why they hurt. When someone cares, care becomes visible. When someone values you, you do not have to beg your heart into evidence. But you kept making arguments for them. You became their lawyer inside your own head. Maybe they were tired. Maybe they did not mean it. Maybe I asked for too much. No, sometimes you asked the right thing from the wrong soul. And this is where the old pattern must die quietly. No funeral, no announcement, no message that begins with, "I just want you to know." They know. People know when they are careless. They know when they use your patience as a blanket for coldness. They hope you keep doubting yourself long enough to stay. Do not stay inside a lesson after God has shown you the meaning. Take the wisdom and leave the room. Take the scar, but not the chain. Take the memory, but not the prison. You are allowed to become unreachable to what kept breaking you. Maybe tonight you feel guilty for choosing yourself. Good people often feel guilty the first time they stop being consumed. They mistake boundaries for cruelty because they were trained to bleed politely. Imagine that, a soul apologizing for air. Breathe, not to prove you are fine. Breathe because your body waited too long for permission to be alive. Relax your jaw. Open your hands. You have been gripping ghosts like they might turn back into people. Let them be ghosts. The future does not need you perfect. It needs you honest. Honest enough to say, "I am hurting." Honest enough to say, "I cannot carry this anymore." Honest enough to stop decorating cages because you fear doors. When loneliness comes, do not let it sell you old poison in a familiar cup. Loneliness is a storm, not a command. It will knock. It will whisper names. It will replay voices. But love does not require you to abandon yourself. Keep your dignity close. Guard it like a tired king guarding the last candle in a ruined castle. Not loud, not proud, just awake. You do not need applause to heal. You do not need them to admit it. God understands what humans simplify. God knows the wound behind the smile, the prayer behind the silence, the patience behind the closed door. Do not panic when nobody claps for restraint. Heaven is not blind to a clean heart trying not to become bitter. And yes, nights will still come back heavy. One small sound, one street, one sentence, one old place will open the ache again. Do not insult yourself for feeling. Healing is not the absence of memory. Healing is memory losing authority. Let it visit, offer it no throne. Let it knock, give it no keys. Let it speak, do not obey. You are learning the holy discipline of not returning to what God already carried you away from. Tonight, choose mercy toward yourself. Drink water, wash your face. Sit in silence without punishing your thoughts. Pray with whatever words are left. If the only words are, God, I am tired, let those words be enough. You are not behind. You are recovering. You are not weak. You are unlearning survival habits that once protected you and now keep you small. You are finally understanding that access to you must mean something. So continue, not beautifully, honestly. Continue with heavy eyes. Continue with shaking hands. Continue without explaining your silence to people who benefited from your confusion. Continue until peace stops feeling like a stranger and the clock on the wall does not care how heavy your chest feels. Tick after tick. And there you are, sitting in a quiet room, staring at nothing, while the world outside keeps pretending that broken people always make noise. The table is still there. The phone is face down. No message, no apology. No sign that anyone felt the earthquake they left inside you. Silence can become a sound that presses on the bones. And maybe you laugh a little because what else is left? Because the mind does that sometimes. It laughs at the edge of collapse like a tired clown in an empty theater. Then the laugh disappears, and the truth sits down beside you again. You are not sad only because someone left. You are sad because a part of you kept explaining their absence as if love needed 1,000 excuses to be real. You were sad because you betrayed your own instincts just to keep believing in a version of them that only existed when you were forgiving. That is the deepest grief. Not losing a person. Losing the person you became while trying not to lose them. The patient one, the careful one, the one who watched his words, lowered his needs, softened his pain, and called it maturity. But listen now, there is a difference between patience and self-erasure. There is a difference between mercy and letting someone turn your heart into a hallway they pass through whenever they are cold. God loves patience, yes, but He did not create your soul to be stepped on and renamed kindness. Stop making holiness out of suffering that was never asked of you. Stop thinking a clean heart means an open door for everyone. A clean heart can still lock a door. A clean heart can still walk away. You can be gentle and unavailable. You can forgive and still not return. You can wish someone peace and still remove their chair from the table of your life. That is not cruelty. That is a soul remembering its value. So tonight, do not argue with memory. It will come dressed beautifully. It will show you the soft moments first. The laugh, the hand, the almost, the maybe. Memory is a skilled liar when loneliness is hungry. Watch the whole film. Remember the waiting. Remember the disrespect. Remember the way your body knew before your mind admitted it. Remember how small you felt after giving your best. Not to hate them, to stop romanticizing the cage. You are allowed to miss what was sweet, but sweetness mixed with poison still damages the blood. You are allowed to ache, but aching is not a command to go back. You are allowed to feel empty, but emptiness is not proof that the wrong place was home. Do not hand that heart back to careless hands. Some people are not evil in a cinematic way. They are careless. And careless people can destroy slowly while smiling normally. So choose distance before bitterness. Choose prayer before revenge. Choose sleep before panic. Choose discipline before emotional hunger. Choose one clean step over 1,000 dramatic thoughts. Tomorrow, you do not have to transform into a legend. Just do the small things like a person returning from a storm. Open the curtains. Drink water. Wash your face. Make the bed. Say one honest prayer, even if your voice is tired. Let them keep the story where you were too much. Let them keep the version where they did nothing wrong. Let them keep the audience. You keep your peace. You keep your manners. You keep your hands clean. And when pain rises again, do not bow to it. Sit with it like a storm passing over a roof. Hear it. Respect it. But remember, a storm can be loud and still not own the house. You are the house, not the storm. You are the one God still wakes up with breath in your chest. You are the one still being written. You are not a ruined page. You are a page with smoke on it, yes, but the ink is not finished. Continue quietly. Continue without proving. Continue while misunderstood. Continue until your soul no longer flinches at peace. Continue until you can hear your own name and not feel ashamed of how much you endured. And when the tears come close, let them know this. They may visit the eyes, but they will not command the feet. You are still moving. Mourning does not always feel like mercy. Sometimes mourning feels like a witness. It enters through the curtains and finds you still awake, still carrying yesterday in your eyes, still wearing the same silence like a coat too heavy from rain. You hear the street waking up, cars moving, doors closing, someone laughing far away as if the world has not collapsed anywhere. And there is the cruel little miracle of life. It continues even when you are not ready. Funny, isn't it? Your chest can be broken and the kettle still boils. Your soul can be tired and the sun still touches the wall. Your heart can feel like a locked room and people will still ask, "Did you sleep well?" No, You did not sleep well. You fought memories with your eyes open. You argued with ghosts that never answered. You held conversations in your head with people who will never understand the damage they left behind. But listen carefully. You do not need their understanding to begin again. You do not need the person who wounded you to become wise before you become free. Sometimes freedom begins when you stop waiting for the wrong mouth to speak the right words. Do not let your healing be held hostage by an apology that may never come. Some people will never kneel before the truth because their pride is the only throne left. Let God judge what you cannot fix. Your job is smaller and heavier. Stand up. Wash the night from your face. Put your feet on the floor like the earth still accepts you. Do not ask the mirror to show you a hero. Ask it to show you someone still here. That is enough for the first battle. Still here. Not smiling perfectly, not healed, not glowing with some fake victory. Just here, with tired eyes and a soul refusing to become dirty. They wanted you destroyed in a quiet way. Not dead, no, nothing dramatic, just smaller, less trusting, less alive, easier to blame. Do not give them that masterpiece. Keep one part of yourself untouched. Guard it. The part that still believes God sees. The part that still knows kindness is not foolish when it has boundaries. The part that can hurt without becoming a knife. And today, when the ache follows you, do not panic. Let it walk behind you. You are not weak because pain still has footsteps. You are learning to move without asking pain for permission. Go slowly. Answer only what deserves an answer. Save your voice. Save your energy. Save your heart from the theater of people who clap only when you bleed beautifully. There will be moments when you almost return. One old song, one name on a screen, one memory standing in the doorway like it belongs there. It does not belong there anymore. Do not open the door just because the knock sounds familiar. The past knows your weakness. It knows your loneliness. It knows the hour when your guard gets tired. That is why discipline must answer before emotion does. Say it quietly. I can miss it and still refuse it. Again. I can love what was good and still leave what was poisonous. Again. I can forgive and still not return. This is not hatred. This is wisdom with a scar. This is mercy with a lock. Peace is not found by winning arguments, but by leaving tables where your soul is always the meal. You changed because the old you kept burning himself to keep careless hands warm. You changed because patience without dignity became another name for suffering. You changed because God did not pull you through the storm so you could rent a room inside it. So continue, not like a machine, like a wounded believer who still chooses clean hands, like a tired man who still chooses prayer over bitterness, like someone who knows the heart can be broken and still belong to God. When evening comes again and the room grows quiet, do not fear the silence. Sit with it. Let it see the new boundary in your eyes. Let it know you are not the same person it swallowed last night. You may tremble. You may remember. You may feel the old ache rise, but you will not hand it the keys anymore. Breathe. God has not finished writing you. There is a street a person walks after something inside him changes. Same buildings, same people rushing past with keys, coffee lives. But he is not walking as the same man. Something in him has gone quiet in a way nobody can see. He looks at the glass of a closed shop and sees his reflection moving beside the city. Tired eyes, normal clothes, a face that learned how to continue. For 1 second, he wants to ask, when did we become this silent? Silence. People think silence is peace. Sometimes silence is all the screams standing in a line, waiting their turn, and you keep telling them, not here, not now, not in front of strangers. You became disciplined with pain. That is what happened. You learned to fold grief into your pocket. You learned to swallow the sentence before it exposed you. You learned to be polite while your soul was sitting on the floor. But discipline should not become a prison. Strength should not mean abandoning yourself so everyone else can feel safe around your sadness. There is no honor in disappearing beautifully. There is no wisdom in pretending the knife did not enter. Admit it. Say it inside, where nobody can interrupt you. That hurt me. Say it again. That changed me. Again. I deserved better than the way I was handled. Not with arrogance, with truth. A truth God already knows. And after you admit it, do not run to the people who damaged you, hoping they will hold the truth gently. Some hands only know how to drop what is sacred. Some ears only listen when your pain benefits them. Some hearts want forgiveness without responsibility. That is the strange comedy of human cruelty. They can watch you drown, then complain that your clothes are wet. They can push you into distance, then call you distant. They can train your heart to close, then act surprised at the lock. Let them be surprised. You are not here to manage the comfort of people who misused your patience. You are here to return to yourself without becoming ugly. Anyone can become bitter. It takes discipline to stay clean. So when the old ache follows you down that street, let it walk. Do not fight every memory like it is an enemy. Listen, then guide it away from the wheel. You are the adult now, not the wound, not the fear, not the desperate part begging for one more sign. You, the one who knows love without dignity becomes hunger. The one who knows peace without boundaries will be robbed again. And yes, there will be days when you miss being naive, when you miss the version of yourself that believed every soft voice was safe. Grieve that version. Thank him. He loved honestly. He did not deserve the lesson, but he survived it. Do not hate him for trusting. He was trying to love with the tools he had. Now you have different tools. Distance, prayer, silence, a slower heart, a sharper eye. Use them. When the phone lights up, do not become weak because the past learned your number. When loneliness speaks, do not answer with your dignity. When guilt comes dressed like compassion, ask it. Does this lead me back to peace or back to chains? That question will save you, sometimes by keeping your hands still, sometimes by keeping your mouth closed, sometimes by putting the phone down and whispering, "God, protect me from returning to what you already exposed." You are not cold. You are recovering from being too available to pain. You are not heartless. You are learning that a heart can be kind without being open all night to people who enter only during storms. Keep walking. Let the street be ordinary. Healing is not always thunder. Sometimes healing is buying bread with a heavy chest and not calling the person who broke you. Sometimes healing is walking past the place that used to destroy you and feeling the knife less. One day, peace will not feel dramatic. It will feel normal. That will be the miracle. No applause, just your soul sitting inside your body without flinching. Until then, keep your steps honest. Keep your prayers simple. If the tears come close, do not hate them. They are water leaving a house that survived a fire. Let them leave, then continue. There is a chair in every lonely room that knows more than people do. It has held the weight of men who said nothing because words would have made the wound too real. Tonight, maybe that chair is holding you. Maybe your back is bent, your hands are still, and your eyes are staring at a floor. You are not breaking because you are weak. You are breaking because you kept standing in places where your soul was never sheltered. You kept being reasonable with people who turned your patience into a habit. Shame. Some people feel it only when you stop making their cruelty comfortable. Then suddenly they notice your distance. Suddenly your silence becomes a crime. Suddenly the person they ignored becomes the person they accuse. Do not be fooled by that little theater. A wounded heart does not owe a performance to the hands that mishandled it. You do not have to prove that the pain was real. You lived it. God saw it. That is enough. There are tears that never fall because pride catches them first. There are prayers that sound like breathing because the mouth has no strength left. There are nights when a man does not ask for happiness. He asks only to not become bitter. Hold on to that. Not to the person, not to the memory, not to the old door. Hold on to the part of you that still wants to stay clean. Hold on to the part that refuses to repay damage with damage. That part is sacred. You may feel empty because you poured yourself into the wrong cup. But emptiness is not death. Emptiness is space. Space for truth. Space for discipline. Space for God to place something better than the thing you begged not to lose. And yes, you will hate the silence at first. It will feel like punishment. You will reach for noise, for messages, for old conversations, for anything that makes the room less honest. But honesty is not your enemy. It is the doctor pressing where it hurts because the wound cannot heal under decorations. So remove the decorations. Admit who disappointed you. Admit what you tolerated. Admit how tired you became while pretending you were peaceful. Say it with no audience. I was hurt. Then breathe. Say it again. I was hurt, but I am still here. That sentence is not weakness. It is a door opening. Now listen carefully. Some people will return when your absence begins to inconvenience their ego. Not because they understood your value, but because they lost access to your softness. They will come with careful words, half apologies, old warmth, and a face that remembers your weakness. Do not confuse a knock with repentance. Do not confuse being missed with being valued. A person can miss your comfort and still not respect your soul. If they return, let your peace answer before your loneliness does. Let your dignity read the message before your heart starts decorating it. Let prayer stand between you and the old pattern. You are allowed to be sad about what you cannot allow anymore. You are allowed to grieve a door you had to close. You are allowed to miss a voice and still protect yourself from it. This is maturity with scars. Tonight, make no grand promises, just one. Do not betray yourself for comfort. Not tonight, not for a message, not for a memory, not for the small warmth that always came before the same cold morning. Put your hand on your chest. Feel the tired beating. It has carried betrayal, disappointment, fear, and silent anger. Yet it still works. Respect that heart. Do not drag it back to a place where it learned to apologize for needing care. One day, you will laugh differently. Not like a man hiding pain, like a man who survived the lie and did not become one. One day, your peace will not feel suspicious. Your silence will not feel like punishment. Until then, move carefully. Choose clean thoughts when dirty memories arrive. Choose water instead of panic. Choose prayer instead of revenge. Choose distance instead of arguing with closed hearts. The night may still be heavy, but it is not stronger than the one who wakes the morning. And you, even tired, even shaking, even quiet, you are still being carried. Keep breathing, keep returning. Stay clean.